So if you want to take a comfortable position on your mat, come into a seated position. And why don't you just bring your legs out in front of you, like so, at about hip distance position. Now, I don't know where you're tuning into this from, but in Queensland at the moment, our beaches are pretty much closed. They don't want us on the beaches. So I think we're going to take a pose to start that Vanessa commonly calls beach pose anyway. So let's get into that. Just take your hands around behind, kind of spin the fingers back and bring your feet out in front of you, your comfortable position. And as you just get into that shape, roll the shoulders back a little and then start to just easily flow with your breath. As you breathe in, simply arch the back, look to the ceiling, let your chest lead the way. And as you breathe out slowly and fully, tuck your chin in and let your spinal muscles curl in, forward toward belly. And just find your rhythm here a few times with that. And permission to move with me this morning as we sort of create some kind of a flow state that we in Being Yoga often refer to as an effortlessness in action, an immersion in breath, in movement, in fluidity. And if you want to do a couple more of these breaths and just imagine the way rivers move through the countryside. They don't move in straight lines, do they? They always find a way to meander. They always find a path around obstacles. And they can cut a valley through mountains. Take one more breath here and just let your breath this morning be a creative force, finding a way, finding a path. And then when you're ready, tuck your tail a little bit, and as you take the next breath in, go ahead and lift up into more of a reverse table shape, allowing the hips to lead the way. Look up. And then we'll just continue that and add on. So as you exhale, come down, tuck the chin into the chest curl. And do that maybe 2 times on your own. Let your breath be the impetus to move fully, to breathe richly, and to let a really wonderful, freeing energy pour through your body this morning, as rivers will. One more time. And then when you're ready, come on down, bring your feet still out in front, but go ahead and just take your right foot and tuck it in a little way underneath. And then with your other foot coming in a little bit, let your body kind of go slack for a moment. Let the knee go out to the side and go ahead and take your arms up into the air, interlace fingers. Now notice the first tendency of this pose for me is to be pulled down. So I want you to do your best to go the other way. So hug the knee in a little bit. Press down into the earth. Go ahead and straighten the elbows energetically. And then open your throat and look up beyond your pinky fingers. And take 2 or 3 really full breaths and just feel like you're letting the energy, the spirit of the breath enliven your spine. Grow tall through the shoulder blades up to the palms. And as you exhale, ground the hips into the earth. Get nice and heavy and deep. One more breath. Nice. And then when you release the arms this time, take the right hand to the left foot. I'm mirroring you. And then extend that leg out. Other fingers around. Turn your chin if it feels good to look back behind you. And just feel like an extension in opposite directions. Heel kicks out. Breath moves up. At the same time as you exhale, energy kind of moves back toward the rear of your body to get that rotation. Just one more breath. Flood your body with good feeling and energy. Wonderful. When you're ready, place that foot down onto the floor again here now. And with a breath, sweep the arms up into the air. Look up. And then go ahead and take the hands down. Now, I like to use fists here. You don't have to use fists, but if you want to, just the palms or the knuckles or the fists, and see if you can just lift your butt off the floor for a moment. Tuck your chin in and kind of curl up from center. And then if anyone's feeling particularly expressive and creative this morning, lift the bottom foot off the floor, your right foot off the floor as well. That's it. That'll wake you up. And then lower yourself back down again. Come back to your beach pose, feet out in front, hands around, and just find that easy breath again. One time, arch, look up, like you're laying on your favorite beach, looking out at the ocean. We'll get there again. Exhale, curl in. When you're ready, move to reverse table, lifting the hips. And as you exhale, you can either stay there or come down again and just free your spine. Feel a river of energy moving up your back as you inhale. Nice, and then just one more time, come on down. Take this time your left foot, tuck it under a little bit. And then again, bring the foot in, activate through center, because everything wants to pull you down out of this. Activate to find integrity and energy, straighten the elbows. And it's really nice if you open the curve of the throat and increase the cervical curve in the neck. A lot of classical yoga instructions always tell us to hug the throat in, and in being yoga, we don't really do that a lot. Instead, we want to maximize the curves in the spine. So maximize that for a moment. Just lay your head back in a comfortable way. Lift up through the chin and elbows. Enjoy one more breath. Go against the pull of gravity down. Excellent. When you're ready, release. Take a hold of the front foot if you can. If you've got longer arms, extend the heel, fingers behind. And just find the breath as a conduit or a balance between the earth and the sky, the front and the back of your body. Feel your spine as an open channel that you breathe up and down through. And just sense your body starting to awaken into this practice. The art of vinyasa is to move from tamas, heaviness, stuckness, to good energy and eventually into a mental calm and equilibrium. See if we can get there today. Bring the foot down to the floor. Just one breath, sweep the arms to the sky. And then again, either make fists if you don't have rings on, or just the fingers of the hand and lift up a little bit. And if you want to, lift the bottom foot. If anyone's really keen this time, you can lift the front foot as well. Awesome. Sit yourself down, and then you can just kind of roll forward into this position. Come to the front of your mat and bring your feet, as we like to do in our school, into hip distance with the 2 feet parallel to each other. Go ahead and place the hands onto the shins and breathe in, lengthen the spine out so you get nice and long in your body. And then just feed your way down onto the thighs. And all I'd invite you to do is take a little snapshot of how you're feeling, where you're at in your legs, hips and spine. And let's see in the next minute or two if you can just get some little entry points to more freedom, more ease. So if you want to now, just bend the knees and roll yourself up, or you could reverse swan, come all the way to the sky, arms sweep tall. Lower the hands down into the center of the chest. Just free up the upper body a little, interlace fingers, elbows to the sky. No hurry with your breathing though. We're going to move quite fluidly, unlock the body, but let your breath be slow, arms up. Bring the arms around behind the back of the body, and just one time, interlace fingers, stretch out. Nice. Come down through an easy chair pose, dropping into the earth. You're going to work your glutes for a moment. I'm just going to do 3 presses up and down. So find a little edge that you can just sink into. And then really press through your heels and inhale slowly. Come up and look up, open the throat. Like a little mini back bend, and then exhale, come down and sit a little more to your heels so you feel the glutes fire up. Nice. Inhale, little back bend, press through the heels. One more time, find that maximum edge this time. Just sink like you're sitting on a cushion. And then last time, come all the way up. This time, do a half forward fold and just hover like you're looking down. Softening your throat a little bit, lengthening the back of the neck. If you'll squeeze your shins in for a moment, feel the leg muscles activate, and stretch your breath out to the fingertips. Strong back, excellent. Take your hands to the shins and sink and dissolve and relax. And I want you to convince yourself that you can relax even more than you already are by letting your head dangle so loose, like it's a piece of ripe fruit that just wants to drop from the vine. Or like a heavy bowling ball that just wants to roll away. Allow your head to lead the way. One more breath. Take a snapshot of your body now and just notice any changes, any shifts. Be mindful of where you're at. Either bend the knees, roll up, or reverse swan dive. Come all the way up again. Hands to the ceiling, a silent clap to the heart center. Let's just add on one time here. Interlace fingers, elbows up. Free your upper body, curl your spine, look into your belly. This time, lift the heels off the floor as the arms come up. Scoop the tail in and ribs in a little bit. Side bend to the right. Pause, like you got a yoga block between your shins. Squeeze in and up. Pause for another moment, hugging your right waist a little more. One breath, enjoy the pose. Excellent. Come on down. Hands to the heart center. Grow out into the chair pose again. Extend the arms forward. That's it. And then just do this glute activator one more time here. Drop down into the hips. Feel the legs solid and strong. Press through the feet. Don't hurry with this. Come up slowly. Come down a little further. You're maybe going to get the hips in line with the knees. Strong legs, strong thighs. Come on up. Last time. Work your legs. Move from your center a little bit. Lower belly active. Let's flow a little now. Come all the way up. And dive, lead with the heart, fingers beside the feet. Take a slow breath, halfway lift. Right leg steps out to the back of the mat. Knee all the way to the floor, low lunge to begin. Sweep the hands into the center of the chest. And do the same arm movement in this practice for now. Interlace elbows, fingers, elbows up. And as you exhale, really extend through the palms of the hands, curl the spine. Breathe in, arms lift, little back bend, look up, chin, throat open. Interlace fingers around behind the back of the body. Take a breath in now. If your knee's comfy, do this. If it hurts, leave this out. But you could rock back. And then as you exhale, fold over the front leg. Not going to hold that too long. Just feel. Take those little snapshots. And convince yourself you can relax a little more by letting your head and neck soften. Your teeth part and your jaw go slack. Wonderful. Stay with the low lunge. Release the clip of the hands. Sweep them down, forward and up. And just for one breath, follow the line through the sky to that infinite space. Circle the arms down, around, all the way onto the floor. Nice. Step to the front of the mat this first time. Spring forward. Lay the chest on the thighs. Release. Now take another snapshot and notice the effect of what you just did between left and right legs. Build little networks of how these postures support and heal your body, and let's balance it out now. Reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Hands to the center of the chest. Take your time, just slow, steady breathing. Interlace fingers, elbows up. Exhale, palms forward. Curl the back, scoop the tail, look into your belly. As the arms lift, lift the heels. And find your center as you side bend to the left. Imagine that yoga block between your legs. Squeeze in and up a little bit. As I like to say, squeeze from the bottom of the toothpaste, like you want your flatmates or your partner to do. It causes all manner of fights in your home. So squeeze from the bottom, squeeze from the heels. Up, up, up. Squeeze into the left waist. One more breath. Awesome. Come through center. Down into chair pose. Just one time here. Look up. Reach tall. For a moment, just play your edge. Sink down. We're just going to do this release one time. So press through the heels. Get strong in the legs. Slow inhale. Come up. Swan dive. Lead with the heart. Fingers to the floor. Steady breath. Halfway lift. Left leg steps to the back of the mat. Sink the knee down to the floor. Palms to namaste at the heart. Now follow your steady, easy breathing. Elbows to the ceiling. Look up a little bit. And enjoy as you release your spine and let those rivers of energy and good feeling pour through your body. Arms up. It's good to feel good when you move. The more you can anchor good feeling into your body, hands behind, and optional, lean back, straighten the leg if you can. And just feed your way down onto the thigh in a way that is soothing. And yet there's a subtle edge that appears like a door that you're just knocking on a little bit. Do you want to open the door now and just lean in? Do you want to find a way that's unique to your body, mind, that allows you to find a sweetness and an ease, a softening rather than a struggle? A delight in the movement. Unclip the hands, sweep them down, brush them over that sand that you're practicing on down by the shoreline. Reach up. Let that rivery energy pour down and over you. Nice. Step to the front of the mat again this time. Spring yourself forward. And as you lay forward into Tadasana, again, just contrast the legs. Take another little snapshot for your Insta story. And let the world know that this yoga practice is doing its work for you here today. Creating space. Opening the channels. Could you take a breath up through the legs and exhale down through your spine one time? Dangle that head. Receive joy. Reverse swan dive or just roll up. Come all the way to the sky. And bookend this first phase of our practice this morning, placing the hands to the heart. One little circuit with the hands, interlace elbows up. Exhale, palms forward. Look into your center, ground your feet. They're your connection with the earth, and then rise up like a fountain shooting high. Have the hands come around and into namaste. And what would it be like to just close your eyes for a brief moment? Journey into the center of your being. And locate yourself perhaps, potentially, in just 1, 2, or 3 areas that are starting to feel really splendid, awakened, enraptured, exalted through this yoga practice. Smile into it, enjoy it. Let the next flow circulate that healing, joyful, loving energy through your body. 50 trillion cells, let them drink it in. Arms to the sky, look up. Swan dive down, fingers next to the feet. Take it up a little bit this time, halfway lift. Right leg steps back, we're high lunge warrior. Anchor into the earth, sweep the arms to the sky. And ground a little bit. Play with that balance between heaven and earth now. Drop down into the front foot. Press through the front heel a little more. And what if you just found a subtle pulse like that water on the shoreline as you breathe in? Just lift the hips a few centimeters. And as you breathe out, sink the hips down a little further, getting anchored and still. Breathe in, just float like a piece of cork in the ocean, bobbing. And exhale down, earthing. Stay centered. One breath, look up. And circle the arms. Let them find their own creative journey. Palms to the floor. Step back. First downward dog in this practice. And now let this downward dog be your downward dog for today. A choice. An insight. What do I need? Movement. March the heels, ripple the spine. Stillness, meditation. And whatever you're doing, can you sort of reach inside your body? Imagine you could see yourself like on an X-ray machine or an MRI. You can see beneath the skin and you can see yourself as bones and muscles and organs and circulation and energies. And in what way, for the last few moments, could you create an openness in the joints, in the shoulders, the neck? Create an ease in the organs of the belly. And visualize like a river of energy flowing unimpeded into every cell of your body. The kiss of life there. Beautiful. Lower the knees down to the floor when you're ready. Sit back onto the heels into Vajrasana, spin the fingers around behind and come into Camel Pose, back bend, lifting up through the hips. And if you can pause there for a moment, squeeze your thighs toward each other again like you got that yoga block there, and kick the shins down into the mat lightly. Notice what it would be like to unlock the shoulders by bending the elbows back a little way and then launching the collarbones up with a soothing breath. Open the throat and then go ahead and sink yourself all the way forward, in and down, back to downward facing dog. And could you continue downward dog for this moment and find a little more back bend, potentially bend the knees a little bit. Scoop the sitting bones up. Extend from the heart center out through the roots of the fingers. Release the head. Increase the curve in your spine. Bring good energy to your body. A mini back bend, a cobra in the back. One breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, take the right leg to the air, stretch tall. Step all the way through between the hands. Just classic, easy, high lunge position. Arms to the sky. But like that little buoy on the surface of the ocean, allow your hips to be fluid, not stuck. And maybe ride the in-breath, a little lift. And let that gentle undulating ocean sink you down, exhale. And play with a range in the hip joint that feels strong yet healing. Maybe the last breath, stay quite still, but look up, reach up, open the throat. Something higher calling, fingers around onto the floor. Go ahead and step out to the front of the mat. And lay your chest down onto the thighs. Stepping into that giant MRI machine where you can visualize your body. Not just the surface, but the depths. Cells communicating. Rivers of energy connecting. One breath to unite the fluid intent of your body to be whole, connected. Moments of choice. Come out onto the fingertips just a little further now. And I want you to just play with this if it's available to you. Take a hold of the right foot behind you with the right hand and hug the heel to the butt. There's no hurry with this. Bend the bottom knee a little bit. And then just back yourself. Trust yourself. You got this. You're cleverer than you think. Bring the left arm up slowly into the balance, Nadarajasana. And as you find Nadarajasana, kick the leg out a little bit. Reach the arm forward. Now it's possible to open the hip as you do this, but maybe you could close the hip and find center. Access the lower belly a little. One more breath. Now we're going to flow on a little here, so stay with it. You can take a breather if you need to. Otherwise, bring the knee up in toward the chest. Take the opposite hand to the outside of the foot or just the outside of the knee and start to extend that leg out and the other arm back. If you want to make it easy, we did this on your butt at the start of class. Imagine you're still doing that. It's easier. If you want to turn up the juice a little, turn to the side, maybe even look back behind you, extending from heel to crown. And stay with it. If you've got one more in the tank, take the ankle to the outer shin, hands to the heart. Allow yourself to rest into that giant fit ball under your hips and feel that buoyancy. Sort of sit down and let the little resolution of that fit ball just support you. Come down a little further. Now to finish this, come on up, take the foot all the way to the outside, arms to the sky. Turn the hands inside out like that. You can't see my arms in the shot, but inside out. Squeeze the elbows to the ears. Reach tall with a breath. Side bend over to your left. You can be passive, but I'd recommend a more active. Hug the thighs in toward each other, the upper thighs in, pelvic floor muscles on. Press the hands together and imagine growing the crown toward the fingertips. One breath. Perfect. All the way up. Interlace fingers. And if you haven't got any major back problems, interlace and fold down and in. And again, just take little snapshots when you practice yoga, little excursions into your body, mapping the terrain like a curious explorer in a new world. What if you were to meet your body every time you practice yoga, every day in fact, like a curious explorer in a new landscape, finding exciting new things to explore, discover, awaken. Beautiful. Release the hands. Come on up. Take the feet for a moment to Tadasana, and please just pause, close the eyes, relax, receive. You've been exploring and you've pulled up under the shade of a big old tree, taking your siesta for a moment. Letting the work that's been done just be done inside. All you need to do is create a little space behind the forehead, in the backdrop of your mind. As the heartbeat slows and the thoughts fade, a little breath to lift, to open the curtains, to move on, arms to the sky. And let your heart gleefully lead the way, fingers forward and down. A little half lift. Left leg steps out to the back of the mat, high lunge position. Sweep the arms to the sky. And adding on a little this time, take the hands down into the center of the chest and just begin there, thumbs on the breastbone, and get a sense that you're lifting the chest up into the hands, sinking the sitting bones, maybe looking tall. Nice. From that position, interlace fingers, elbows up. Right up under the chin. Exhale, extend the arms diagonally toward the sky, the clouds. Take them back a little bit. Track the line like the sun in the sky. Perfect. Place the hands down onto the floor. Moving on now to plank pose or just to the knees. And if you can from plank pose, just explore this. Take your weight onto the right hand, side plank. If you can't do that, you can drop the bottom knee to the floor as well. All right, so from side plank, if you've got this, for a few more moments, lift the inner hip high. Excellent. Come on down, hand to the floor. Sink back to downward facing dog. And slowly lower the knees all the way down onto the earth. Sit back onto the heels. Circle the arms up, lift the hips as well. And the arm you were just strengthening, the right arm, is going to become the stretch arm. Left hand to the hip or to the heel, and then just lean back and up through that top arm. Strengthen what you stretch and stretch what you strengthen. So stretch out that whole right side now, lift up, extend to the fingers. Good energy. Wonderful. Slowly, carefully, come on down. All the way, and just for a moment, take that same right arm out to a half Anahatasana, as far forward as you can. Keep your butt in the air and just sink your heart toward the earth. And 2 or 3 gentle breaths. Exploring breaths. Foraging breaths. Looking for little doorways of release, expression. Very nice. Come on in when you're ready. Hand to the floor. Find downward facing dog. Take a little snapshot of the difference between right and left sides of your body. Come to plank pose when you're ready. Onto the left hand, left side plank. Roll your body open and up. Strong through that grounded arm. Lift through the inner hip. Claw the fingertips to the earth and rise to something just a little beyond your grasp you really want. Wonderful. Slow motion. Bring the hand to the floor. Drop the knees to the earth. Slide your way back. Come up onto the knees. Right hand comes either to the small of the back or the heel. Extend out through that left arm now, left channel open, expressive, bright. Belly firm to come out, hand to the floor. Just drop your right hand and extend the left out as far as it can go. Keep your hips up but melt your heart. And we find the light within the dark. And the dark within the light. The eternal balance, the doing and the being. Turning energy on and then finding that sweetness, that sattva. How willing are you to let go into this last breath of every thought, into a state of dynamic presence. The more your mind's engaged, the happier your mind is. It's that simple. Downward facing dog. Take another little snapshot. How are you responding? What's going on? How are the shoulders? How's the back? How's the chest? How's the neck? One full breath. That internal body receive the gift. It feels nice to feel nice. Take the left leg to the air, reach tall. Sending it all the way through between the hands. High lunge. Take the arms up to the sky. And lower the hands all the way down into the center of the chest. As the thumbs touch the breastbone, lift up into that. Angling. Interlace fingers, breathing in, elbows to the chin line. Exhale, palms to the diagonal now. Keep extending from earth to sky. Follow the back bend, hands across the skyline. Beautiful, hands all the way down to the floor. Step to the front of the mat. And again, forward fold, 3 to 5 breaths. Breath can be full, breath can become like a gentle whisper. Mindfully entering the inner domain of you. Where do you feel the pose? Where can you bring the warm spirit of the breath? Fingertips come out just a little in front. Remember, you got this. It's always easier on the second side. Isn't that good to know? Take a hold of the left foot with the left hand behind you. Curl the heel to the butt. Look a little forward. It's easier to bend the bottom knee and come on up to Tadasana. If that's too hard, just come to standing and do it from standing first. Kick the leg out a little. Now see it through. It's easy to start things in life. It's sometimes really hard to see it through. Bring the knee up. Stay with it. Take a hold of the foot with the opposite hand. Extend the leg out. You can take hold of the knee if that's easier. And then maybe look to the side if you trust yourself, or if you really back yourself, look behind. Finish with the figure 4 balance. If you're still with me here, ankle to the outer thigh, palms to namaste, that gesture of togetherness, of balance, of finding the inner fortitude that you have in spades. To come out of it, come on up, take the foot to the outside, hands to that inside out position and just lift tall, reset for a moment. Squeeze your upper thighs toward each other, pelvic floor muscles on. Lean to your right. The yin within the yang within the yin. It's easy to be too yin in these postures, kind of get passive. So more squeeze, more lift. Elbows squeeze, head toward fingers. But then find the yin within the yang, the activation. Find the sweetness, the softness. Shoulders. The gentle touch of the breath in the nostrils. The sweetness of an easy breath in the belly. Letting go into effortlessness and flow. Come on up, interlace fingers behind and fold forward. Just enough yang energy to keep yourself centered and posturally balanced. But 80% yin. Like a really soothing yawn. Oh, like a long sigh. Like not a care in the world. Nothing really needing to be done. One breath. Perfect. Bring the hands back, firm belly. Lift yourself all the way up. And again, when you're ready, just a moment of Tadasana. Close the eyes. Receive. The hardest thing in life sometimes. To receive. To what's always coming your way. Open the door to the heart. Sat Chit Ananda. When mind and energy unite, there's bliss. And maybe you can feel a little of that somewhere inside. One more standing sequence that'll eventually wind this down to the earth, arms to the ceiling, reach tall. Go ahead and swan dive all the way down. Step the right leg out to the back of the mat. Turn the heel in and down. Come on up to Warrior Two. Warrior Two, check your back instep and front heel are in line. And check your back heels just turning out a little more and the back hips turning in a little ways. Excellent. But we'll take this pose into a little bit more of a flowing sequence this morning. So reverse warrior, hand down, top arm up, lean up and back. Nice. Elbow to front knee, top arm forward, extend. And keep extending. Roll the arm in front of the face and come on up, arms into the air, legs straight. Keep the front leg straight, Trikonasana, lean forward and just drop the gate. Rotate into a little twist, look up. Take the arm over behind the ear if you can. Reach from heel to fingertips, enjoy a breath. Sweep that arm in front of the face, bend the front knee. Nice, circle yourself up and around. Take the heels in and the toes out. Bring the hands into the center of the chest, horse or goddess pose. Interlace fingers, flow with the breath. Keep the river of energy moving. Unlocking all the stuckness to an easy flow, arms up. Nice, hands all the way back down into the center of the chest. You're going to go to the back of the mat. Come on up, Warrior Two at the back of the mat. This time, moving toward a bind, take the back arm behind the hip, bind. Nice. Elbow to front leg, extend from heel to crown. You've got an option to stay here. We're going to go into Ardha Chandrasana and build this little sequence here. So, come on forward when you're ready. Bring the fingers out in front, a little off to the side, and maybe lift the back leg into a dynamic, strong line of energy. If you want to, take the top arm to the sky, reach tall, maybe trust yourself to look up. And see it through, land softly, like you're on the moon, zero gravity, land back down. Excellent. Heels in for a moment, toes out, hands to the center of the chest. Just catch your breath. Nice. Do this easy flow again. Clear the slate. Elbows up. Breathe on in. Exhale. Palms forward. Breath is your metronome of ease and balance. Stay with it. Now bring the hands around into the center of the chest. First move, you're going to twist to the back of the mat. Turn yourself around here. Press your hands together. Lift the elbows. Nice. Come around. Face the front leg. Perfect. Feel that energy of center. Lift the arms. Bring them around now to reverse prayer on the back. If you can't do that, just interlace fingers. And then turn your feet around to face the front of your mat into a pyramid pose shape. Both feet fairly well forward, about hip distance. And when you're ready, sink yourself in and down. And just melting, releasing, receiving, letting go. I'm going to bring this little sequence down and then bring it back up. A little yin in amongst the yang. Take the hands to the floor. Step your back leg all the way out. And with this front leg, it should be your left leg, I believe. Bring it around to an open downward dog position into the air. Bring it across your body into a floating pigeon pose. And then just go ahead and drop that shin down onto the floor. And we're going to do this pigeon just with a little bit of activation first, little yang, and then sort of ease into the yin. And I'll just describe, it's very simple. Come onto the elbows just initially. Then all I want you to do, instead of going passive, activate a little bit. So I want you to tense the front hip muscles a little bit. So tense your left butt. Press your front shin into the floor a little bit. Then kind of drag your back thigh in. So you activate the muscles. Turn them on. And then just come down another little halfway, keeping those muscles on about 10%. So you want to stabilize within the letting go. Soften the belly. And then what I'll get you to do is take a really slow breath in. And for an even longer breath out, just like letting all the air out of a balloon, lower down, release those muscles, and just sink all the way down. Moments of silence remind you that there's a space behind all that extraneous thinking that's yours to reclaim now. In the silent depths of your being, always present, always available. And one last breath to just be with yourself in a way that feels somehow timeless. Unconditioned. I'd love you to bring that sense of easefulness into a little creative possibility now. So from pigeon pose, go back to your open leg downward dog. And here we just get a little playful and creative. Let that river find a path through the countryside. Walk your fingers back toward your front foot. Get grounded on your right hand. And if you can, a little leap of faith, reach around for the top foot with your left hand. Kick the leg out a little bit. Open the hip. Smile. Dare you to. Release the leg when you're ready. Very nice. Come back forward into pigeon pose. But from pigeon pose this time, sweep the back leg around in front of your body. And place it like you did at the very start of class, just with the leg up like so. A wind down twist, opposite elbow around the knee, fingers around behind, and look to a place within, eyes closing, maybe. Now, I don't know, do you want the good news or the bad news first? Well, the bad news is maybe that we've got to do all that again on the second side. The good news is, of course, that it always feels better second time around because your brain's got a map and you know what you're doing. So when you're ready, bring your feet out like you did at the very start of class into your beach pose position, and just for a moment release your spine in between these last sequences. Look up, breathe in. Breathe out, go ahead and curl and feel a sweetness in your body. Just one more breath, reverse table, lift up. And when you're ready, come on down. Now if you can, just waddle yourself forward or flick your legs around behind. Come on up to the front of the mat. Reverse swan dive or roll, arms to the sky, reach tall. Hands down into the center of the chest. Clear the slate as we move on. Interlace fingers, elbows up. No thinking, just moving. No thinking, just breathing. Arms up. Interlace hands around behind the back of the body. Stretch all the way out. Exhale, fold yourself down, chest onto the thighs. A full, easygoing breath, effortless in the action. Like putting the icing on the cake. Fingers come down to the floor, nice. Send the left leg out to the back of the mat, turn the heel in and down. Come on up to Warrior Two. Check your alignment, always want to stack your bones first. Back in, step front heel. Back hip rolling in, Warrior Two. But as we did on the first sequence, just flow a little, reverse warrior. Come on all the way up, breathe in. And as you lengthen that exhale, elbow to front thigh, top arm forward. Take a breath, heel to finger, enjoy lengthening. Sweep arm in front of the face, all the way down. And come on up, arms up, legs straight. Trikonasana, lean forward, swing the gate down. Rotate a little from your belly to the top hand, look up. If it feels good, top arm forward, behind the ear maybe, roll the pinky finger down a little. And then lastly, bend front knee, sweep the arm in front of the face, all the way up. Hands to the heart, heels in, toes out. You're in horse or goddess pose. One time with the arms, interlace, elbows up. Like that little piece of cork bobbing on the ocean, let your hips just rise and fall a little, arms to the sky. Just sweep the arms around to Namaste in the center of the chest. Turn to the back of the mat, you're in Warrior Two. And this time you go for a bind, back hand behind, clasping the thigh or the pants or your shirt, elbow to knee. So remember, you can find stillness here and just breathe and enjoy and savor the moment. If you want to go on, Ardha Chandrasana, bring the front hand a little forward, lift the back leg, and make a line that's a little higher than the horizontal with the back leg as the top arm becomes vertical, extending you like a vine to the sky. If you back yourself, why wouldn't you? You're an incredible being. Have a go. Look up. Who cares if it's not perfect? Newsflash, no one's perfect. We're all just growing, learning, adapting, evolving. Perfect. When you're ready, come on down. Bring the foot back. You come on the side of your mat into your horse pose again. Nice. Hands to the heart space. Take a little twist to the back of the mat. Turn on your axis. Press your hands together. That's it, elbows up. Keep the knees open. As you breathe in, come to center. Turn to the front of the mat. Come to center. Take the arms up, unlock the legs. Reverse prayer with the arms. Bring them around behind. Face the front of the mat. Turn your feet around so they're both forward in a pyramid shape. Shorten your stance a little. And finish this sequence by melting the heart. That piece of ripe fruit that is your head, ready to fall. And that heavy bowling ball, just wanting to roll away. In this moment, nothing really need be done. Allow yourself at a deeper level just to receive. Perfect. Hands come down to the floor. Slide the back leg out and we'll start to wind this practice down a little. And open down dog, that front leg goes up and back. And then from there, like just a floating pigeon for a brief moment, come forward and then sink that shin down. And we'll do this posture with a little more of an activation first. So either hands or elbows, but not into a full stretch yet. And then just explore switching on the muscles. You want to tell your brain which muscles you want to activate. So turn on your front hip. Press your front shin down. Drag your back knee a little forward. And as you do that, just explore maybe a lowering halfway as those muscles stay on, but not fully gripping, just 10%. And feel like you send a little message to your brain that those muscles are the ones you're focusing on. As you take a slow breath in, imagine that balloon ready to let all the air out. And exhale, just sinking, letting muscles go, body go, and thoughts go. In that MRI that is your inner world, the X-ray of your being, right now, even beneath the bones and the muscles, the subatomic world, the quantum field. What does that river of energy look like inside you? If you could see that and sense that. Is it flowing? Is it trapped anywhere? Can those little whirlpools and eddies join the river of life within you again? Healing is a state of openness and flow. So take that openness and flow and find one more moment of yang, if you want to, back to your open leg downward facing dog with that right foot in the air. And if you feel that hint of the explorer, the adventurous spirit, walk your hands just back a little until you really feel your weight on the bottom heel strongly. Take the right hand to the top foot and then maybe kick the leg out into Shavasana. Be bold, courageous, and yet soft, receptive. Could you come back slowly, walk the hands forward, and just take that pigeon pose one more time, but you're not going to stay in it. Sweep the back leg around and forward. And just a really easy option. The foot comes to the inside. You can do the full pose if you like, but if not, just here's perfect. Opposite elbow and twist. How beautiful is it to have a body that's healthy? It's just you on your mat, no gym equipment required. Just you on your mat with your breath. I'm yet to find a practice in life quite like yoga that ticks so many boxes: movement, breath, mindfulness, and the qualities of finding joy out of the darkness and the lotus from the mud. One more breath, allow crown to brighten toward the light that's all around you. Why not feel as good as humanly possible in every moment? Come on around, and last posture here before onto your back, legs out into Paschimottanasana. Take the knees maybe just a micro bend. We don't recommend ever locking the joints, and you're super warm, and just come on down when you're ready into a fold that's appropriate. You've been taking many snapshots throughout this class, so maybe a final one here in your body. Where you're at compared to 50 minutes ago when you did your first forward bend. And enjoy the Little moments of celebration. Sometimes a hard-fought battle, but always leads toward a reward that you can savor now, like the sweetest piece of chocolate. One more breath. Put that piece of chocolate on your tongue, roll it around, savor it. Your body is a delight. So please, when you're ready, maybe even with the eyes closed, just roll yourself up and come on down onto your back. And for some of you, maybe just knees to the chest could feel like a good little release for your spine, or perhaps a gentle spinal roll. For some, it could feel great to just stretch out and come into Shavasana. Now I know when I'm doing online practices, it's easy to just get up and not do this, but as Being Yoga always said, this is the most important posture in your practice. So give yourself just a few minutes to really receive, to heal. I know some days I love to get up in the early morning and walk to the top of a mountain. Some beautiful mountains on the Sunshine Coast, and at the top of that mountain the view is so serene. You can see in all directions. And when I look down, I often see that river snaking across the countryside. Finding that path. Maybe there's a river that's taking a journey from the soles of your feet right now as you look from the mountaintop, and just watch as that river finds a way to meander through the legs. And the cool, cleansing waters through the banks of your body, through the hips, into the lower back. Healing the internal organs and nourishing the heart. In your own unique way where relaxation happens deeply for you now, let that river sweep down the shoulders into the arms. And as you go deeper and deeper into a state of receptivity, because that's where your heart wants to rest. And allow that little river to meander all the way up into the brain. And where it becomes a lake. In the lake where those last few ripples are just beginning to dissolve away now. And the lake reflects the trees and it reflects the sky. Maybe you can become like the sky. Maybe in your depths you are infinite. And you might just go there now. Because that's where freedom lives. And that's where the heart resides. And so from out of that infinite sky, where everything seems possible, where as you look down on the troubles of the world, they become microscopic and small compared to the vastness, the invitation to truly be open to all that you are and all that everything is in this moment. I wonder if you could reach into the infinite fold of space-time and choose one quality you'd love to bring back with you into your day, into the Leela, the playground of your life. Maybe a word that inspires you today. Maybe a word that becomes like a frequency that you just drop into the lake of the heart that creates a ripple there. As you let that ripple in the heart become more pronounced and full, and what is that word for you? What is that quality? Allow a few breaths that bring you back to expand that ripple of positive feeling in the heart and share it selflessly to every cell of your body. To those you'll meet in your household today or on your Zoom connections or wherever you journey on this day, please reawaken yourself, and when you're ready, maybe roll to your side and come on up to a seated pose. If you'd like to close this practice with me and all the other people on this broadcast today, take the hands to Namaste. And of course, the essence of Namaste is that as I see the light in myself, I'm willing to see it in all. Maybe for you today, as I place this seed of intent into my heart, this word, this quality, this frequency, may I share it freely with the world today. So thanks for sharing this practice with me. You've helped me feel better this morning. I hope you feel wonderful. Namaste.